From the director of The Curse of La Llorona, The Nun 2, and The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Michael Chavez has come to us with a beautiful installment in the Conjuring movies, The Conjuring Last Rites. Let's get into it. What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me for this movie review. I'm gonna get right into it because I was so excited to see this. I can still see movies, even if I don't get to see them as early as I'd like. You can still see them and enjoy them, so let's get into this. So of course we have Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga returning as Ed and Lorraine Warren. I am so happy that those two have been doing this from the beginning. They have not stopped. It has been beautiful to watch the journey through all of the movies, the Nun movies, the Annabelle movies, and the Conjuring movies, and see this story unfold over all of these films. It's beautiful writing. Mia Tomlinson joins the cast as Judy Warren. This movie is very interesting because seeing it say The Last Rites and then watching the movie, it makes perfect sense why they would promote it as like, oh, it's their last time, because after what transpires and what you see in the film, it would make sense why they would want this one to be their last case. Ben Hardy joins the cast as well as Tony Spera, Judy's boyfriend, and he is such a good character, such a sweetheart. He's such a good guy, and for him to be in this movie and be the way that he was in this movie, it was much needed for the character of Judy and the parents as well, and for the nature of the story. He was a great addition, and not just him as the actor, but the character itself. Steve Coulter returns as Father Gordon, and it was so nice to see another familiar face come back in this movie, and what happens with him and surrounds him, well, yeah. And then we get to the Smurl family. We have Rebecca Calder, who plays Janet Smurl, Elliot Cohen, who plays Jack Smurl, Bo Godson, who plays Dawn Smurl, Keela Lord Cassidy, who plays Heather Smurl. And there's a few other people in the Smurl family as well, two younger daughters and the grandfather and the grandmother. And this film really centers around this family, the Smurl family. So I had never heard of this. Apparently, back in the 70s, there was this family called the Smurl family, and they dealt with a nature of possession that was just absolutely insane and the most crazy that Ed and Lorraine Warren had dealt with to date. So in this film, we see a flashback with Ed and Lorraine to one of their first times actually dealing with possession and dealing with demonic presences and stuff, and she was pregnant, and it makes sense what happens in the film because of what happened to them when they were younger and with the first demon that they actually encountered. Lorraine said some things when everything was transpiring, and my girlfriend and I were like, oh, that's gonna come back to bite you, and it kind of does later on in the film because of the nature of what happens with the possession, and it's dealing with objects and possessed objects, which we have seen throughout the other Conjuring films and the Annabelle films. Throughout this film, the Smurl family is being haunted by this mirror that was gifted to them. This mirror contains a lot of evil essence, some of the most evil essence that they've seen, the Warrens have seen. The children start dealing with it first, and then things just keep going awry, and it gets to a point where they all just can't handle it anymore, as it usually happens. For some reason, Judy is being like called to this. As you see the film, you're like, oh boy, here we go. The way how it's written and directed, it's so beautiful, because the acting in all of these movies is top-notch, always top-notch. And the way how they convey the story and then they bring in the real-life people afterwards, it's beautiful to see. Makes it even more real for you, as a watcher. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it makes it so much better because it makes it more relatable, like a lot of movies do. And as I said, this movie is just one of the best of the year in my opinion because of the nature of the issue in the movie, but also the way how it is executed. There's a few people in this movie that are in the other movies as well. It's crazy that they bring these people back, and obviously I'm not going to spoil it and tell you, what happens in regards to them, but it's just nice to see movies do this kind of thing where they have a story told throughout other movies, even if they don't have the same title, but it's the same nature of film. It's like a slow burn and a build, and it was just so nice to watch all of these movies. First of all, I watched all of these movies in succession with my girlfriend for the first time about a few weeks ago. We finally got to like the last Conjuring movie before this one, and man, just to kind of see how everything unfolded and to see it that way, it's so beautiful. And these movies have been a joy to watch and sit through because of the nature of the story. I will admit that there was one moment at the end where they were dealing with the possessed object that it looked just a little bit too cartoony, and I can tell they probably did this more for the Hollywood effect and to kind of make it more big and odious. But that was just one thing in the movie that kind of took us out a little bit. But it's not a dig on the film. And it's not to say that the film is not good, because the film is phenomenal. It's just that one part where it was kind of like, okay, that's a bit much. Like, I get it, but like, that's a bit much. But the scare factor was through the roof. I mean, this was the first time in a long time that a horror movie made me genuinely so like scared and creeped out after watching it. Man, it was good. That's how I know it was a great movie. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they have been the best people that I've seen in these movies by far. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the people, if not all of the people in all of these movies have been phenomenal. They have nailed their roles to a T. It's just, man, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they nailed it. They picked the two best people that could have been picked for Ed and Lorraine Warren to be in these movies. So thank you guys so much for joining me for another review. It is much appreciated. As I always say, you know the drill. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, and please leave a comment and share this video. Thanks again for watching. Until the next one.